Hey gang, I have a whole bunch of videos. I record them every day. I don't know how many I upload and how many I don't, or which ones I do, which ones I don't. But I just wanted to record a very short one because I've experimented with both medications. I love the Seroquel. What it is an off switch, and I really needed that because what I realized what was going on there for a long time is it would be 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, and I would see a heck of a long night ahead of me because I wasn't able to sleep. And that made me nervous because if I had 8 hours awake sitting at home with nothing to do, and in particular no marijuana to smoke, well, I'd just go crazy. So every night, towards the end of the night, I was looking how much weed I had and kind of work I can do, and I was just getting myself all worked up and nervous. Now, for the past couple of nights, I've been able to just say, well, okay, when I get home, I'll take a couple of pills and turn myself off. And that way I won't have to smoke, won't have to think, and I'll wake up refreshed. And it's worked just fine. And I really like it. I'm staying with. I knew I shouldn't have run out of those pills. I have more than enough. I'll give you an example. Just like yesterday, came home during the day. It was too hot, nothing to do. Well, I just popped two of them, and I slept until 8 o'clock at night, from 2 in the afternoon until 8 o'clock at night, and I wasn't even tired. So it's kind of nice. It kind of gives you an on-off switch. And then there's the Concerta, and that's what really brought me here right now because the Concerta really works. I can't believe how much it focuses me, calms me down. It's given me a new sense of resiliency, not to let my internet go. So I've been overworking again a little bit just to get it going. Hopefully I'll be able to keep it on. I'm not sure, but I didn't take any today yet to see what the difference was, and that's why I'm recording the video. Because there's a fucking monster in me. There's a fucking monster in me. Okay, I realize this now. I guess it's the lizard brain. I guess without the Concerta, my cortex is not online, and I'm all lizard, and I just feel this energy, and it can go either way. If I had a girl, I think I've mentioned this in other videos, I'd become a sex addict. I'm not a sex addict. I'm not promiscuous. I really am very selective. But once I get one and we start having sex, I mean, it's like insanity. And now I'm realizing what it is. It's this energy, which is either aggression or sexual, I suppose. And since I don't have a partner, and I don't really want one right now, um, it comes out in aggression. I actually called my mother again today, and I just, what I keep thinking about, it's did through the years and thousands of hours of videos, there's really maybe 50 points that just stuck with me and really burned, or from the memories and the whole mishkabibble of maybe 1,000 data points. There's maybe 50 that really hurt, and one of them I'll tell you right now because it's been making me act out against my mother. It's been making me really hate her and wanting to torture her, and I almost want to antagonize her into attacking me back so I can bring it to the forefront legally. It's was Sun Lion. I believe it was either Be Good 2000 or 4000 or Sun Lion. It was one of those videos where it's a robot character speaking. So I don't know who to thank, but one of the lines about narcissism said, "Don't kid yourself" or something. The line was, but then this is it. It says, "They're laughing at you." He says, "Can't you see it? They're laughing at you." And up to that point, I didn't see that at all. I saw the narcissist as someone who was on the defense, who was nervous and protective. But as soon as they said they're laughing at you, I started to think about my ex-girlfriend, what she was doing, and I realized, my God, there were people behind me certain times when she was talking to me, and she would come close to me to try to get my attention to make sure I didn't see them, but she was making jokes about me to them. I remember one thing she did. I mean, it's kind of funny with her. I'm not really holding it against her because she taught me everything I know, really. But one of the things she did was she was talking about someone and she said, "Oh yeah, he's a real loser," and she put up the L. But when she did it, she looked away over my shoulders, and I remember thinking, I remember catching that, but I didn't think much of it until now. I realized, oh yeah, now I know there was friends behind her. There had to be, because I met her in her neighborhood, where she's, I'm not going to go into what she does, but where she operates. So everyone knows her. Yet, during the time I was with her, very few people spoke to her. And I just realized, yeah, because they knew that she was playing me and to stay away, not to give up her game. So I realized my mother too. Thank God. I'll tell you something. I caught my ex-girlfriend the last time I saw her, and I confronted her and I told her I knew who she was. She was able to turn the conversation, she denied it, and she was able to turn the conversation into making me ask her to go out with her again, something, or she tried to reestablish the relationship. And I didn't even see how she did it, but she managed to do it. And I agreed. I said, okay. And I remember that was the first time how she ended up getting me in a relationship. I didn't ask her. She proposed it, and I was like, oh, okay. And she was like, great. So she kind of fed me into this, and I, of course, felt flattered. But this time, when I said okay, I looked up quickly to catch any micro expressions, because I'd just been studying those and reading about those. That's why I went to go see her. I was ready to look for micro expressions, because I had heard that's the giveaway. And sure enough, she gave away. She was like, and then she went serious again. Like, she thought I wasn't looking, and she was like, oh, I can't believe he's so stupid, he's going to fall for it again. Or oh, I think I got him now, because she was going to screw me big time. So I saw that joy in her face, and that really made me know that I was right about her, and that everyone on the internet was right about psychopaths, and that micro expressions could not be hidden, and that basically ended it with her. It was just a few hours after that I started to barrage her with emails telling her everything I knew about her, because I was able to, from that moment on, unravel every lie that she told me. Just like my mother, once you know what their game is, you're able to unravel everything. And shocking it is. Well, so my mother, when I was suicidal and I was in my other apartment, way at the beginning of this, it was when Robin Williams first committed suicide that I got triggered, because just before that, a girl I grew up with committed suicide due to narcissistic abuse. She was working for Lehman Brothers, and it folded, and she was blaming the boss, because the boss always said he'd protect them no matter what, but he threw them under the bus apparently. It was the only major bank to go under during that crash. She wasn't able to gather herself after that, and she came back to the city, moved in with her mother, and killed herself within 2 weeks. That, and then there was Robin Williams, and Robin Williams was a comedian, my brother was a comedian, we grew up watching Robin Williams on Mork and Mindy. I was depressed, I was killing myself, I was ready to die, I missed my brother, my parents were gone, they abandoned me. And my parents started to show up at my door. And this is after I told them, when I was suicidal, I called my mother, and she told me, well, if you're suicidal, go ahead and kill yourself, there's nothing I can do about it. And put down the phone. And then when I called her a few days later, crying basically, she hung up on me. So after that, I never wanted to speak to them again. But that's when that's when I went on Facebook and told my whole family what was going on, and that's when they all of a sudden started to care. And that's when I realized something was seriously wrong. They were trying to shut me up. It had nothing to do with it, with them caring about me. And I realized from that moment on, it never did have anything to do with caring about me. They were torturing me. But as long as they kept me quiet, that's all that mattered. And so my parents come to my door, and they're banging on my door for maybe 10 minutes. And I'm just staying quiet because I want them to go away. But they're not stopping. So finally I go to the door, and with both fists, I smash it. And then I look through the keyhole. You know what I see? I see my mother doing this. She goes, like she's laughing, and she goes, and she goes away. Like a little immature woman. She had no feelings. It was all a joke for her. And for that reason, I think about that reason lately, and that's why I've been calling her and telling her how disgusting she is. And I've been throwing everything I've ever learned about her in her face. It's a technique and a skill that I've absolutely perfected as a borderline. And I believe it came from my youth, because when I was really young, I really wanted to tell my parents off. But of course, you're in a hostage situation as a child. My father would beat the hell out of me. if I said any word wrong. I mean, even if I used a bad word, they would, you know, my dad would smack me or something. So I couldn't swear or anything. So imagine. So now that I've cut the ties, I'm able to let loose. It's like pent up verbal diarrhea from like 40 years, and especially with all the added insults I can add on, because I know about what's going on, and all the added insult towards me, because now I know how truthfully they were actually sabotaging and torturing me. Well, it's hard to resist, you know. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, the Concerta will probably prevent me from doing that, and that's really what I can feel right now is not happening, because I didn't take a Concerta. That primordial lizard creature, that monster, that, you know, it's really got no personality, and it's really doesn't have very many traits. It's just a goddamn, well, like one of my ex-girlfriends called it, did she say, I have the Tasmanian devil in me. If you've ever seen the Tasmanian devil, he just goes nuts and just, you know, decompensates. That's it for now. I'm gonna take a Concerta before I blow up again. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. I'm antagonizing my mother. I'm telling her everything. Everything's going in the book. I said all your secrets, all the torture, all the money you spent to try to shut me up. I said it's all for nothing. And there you are at the end of your life, sitting all alone with nothing but a bunch of crack dealers around you. I mean, I'm really, really being viciously mean, because she has been mean to me. My God. And a mother. So you know what? Let her hear what a son can do. You know what she told me? She once told me towards the end, way at the end, when I asked her why she was mean to me, when I realized something was going on. She mentioned sometime when I was 14 or something. I think she said 14. And I said to her, you know, I'm just glad you're older than me, because it means you're going to die first. And she said ever since I said that, she's hated me. More or less, she said it in so many words. She's held it against me. I was like, yeah, you were probably torturing me, you know, doing something in your sociopathic, now I'm realizing, I didn't say it at the time, but of course, I remember what she used to do to me when I was 14. Nothing made sense. Nothing made sense, right? Because it was all about protecting my father's sickness. It wasn't about nurturing me, making me happy, making the family whole. No. You know, she never wanted the family to be whole, so everything was just so messed up that of course I'm going to want her dead. And I've told her many times in these phone calls where I leave messages that I want her dead. I'm gonna take a dump on her grave. I swear to God, I mean. Anyways, I'm gonna take a Concerta.